with one video, I received about 7,000 followers. You need to understand your audience. You need to understand who you are reaching out to. You need to understand what exactly things that they want to know. I have trained it. So everything. So I create 20 page a training module for AI. You can use three words. Imagine use कर सकते हो दो तीन keywords होते हैं which you
Yeah,
can use in
yeah.
any hooks, right? So I gave them that how to create. So create multiple posts of this, and I copied, pasted.
Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We have Rajat with us today. He is a CMO turned entrepreneur. He is the co-founder of Silk Route Media, wherein they help founders with their personal branding on Instagram. From ideation to pre-production, post-production, everything is handled by them. We'd be discussing a lot of things that he has to offer, like how to grow on Instagram, how can you start your own agency if you want to start something like that. But let's start with Rajat's introduction. Welcome Rajat to the YouTube channel.
So I'm a college dropout. I didn't join any college. I didn't drop out, but I didn't even join any college. So after health and school, I this company, a person called Sam Basla, who later and who taught me everything about the business and entrepreneurship and stuff, right? So there I started working as an intern, managed their personal brands and community, and there are multiple we were doing over there, right? So in the process, I learned about personal branding, LinkedIn marketing, B2B marketing to be very specific. We were also doing LinkedIn marketing for many clients as well for us doing. In fact, we were first few people who started LinkedIn branding
Oh,
in
wow.
2018. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's becoming more and more common word now. Like
Exactly,
everybody.
exactly. So I in 2018 I had about 25,000 followers, but I was exploiting the LinkedIn a lot. So I was sending requests every request and sending 50 requests, 60 requests every. So that's why I received multiple warnings from LinkedIn, but I didn't stop there. So they
Yeah.
blocked my profile. So I lost all of my followers, which was around 25,000 at that particular time.
That's a lot.
So exactly, and in 2018, when you have about 25,000 followers, you can everyone on LinkedIn know you. And उस टाइम पर रीच भी बहुत ज्यादा थी. So if you publish any post, you would get like 1 lakh का reach easy peasy.
Yeah.
So that's where I come later on. Then we shifted to content business and B2B marketing specific. We started helping multiple brands for their LinkedIn personal branding. Later on, the industry got very cluttered. So that's when we decided that we should shift to Instagram or maybe something else, because we knew that future will be videos,
Yeah.
right? So that's build multiple channels, right? We started with one project called Modern. You can go search on Instagram. So in 6 months we were able to achieve 1 lakh followers on particular page. So that was the first page and profile that we worked upon,
The
where we
first
got
client.
not exactly a client. It was our account itself. So we were working. So I was the co-founder and the CMO for Brand. So in Brand Samosa, we started another company called Modern Teams, where we were help companies staffing, right? So for that we started creating employee related content. So any content and any content that's related employees, right? So we started building that. We got insane result that. So we have about total we generated about 100 plus million views on that particular channel. That's why we could get like 1 lakh followers in just 6 months. Later on we stopped it for some reasons, right? But yeah, that's was my first hands-on experience for LinkedIn. And then later on I held multiple clients, and now I'm building my account, right? For myself also, I started like creating content 2 months back. I was
Now
about
30K, right?
yes,
20K,
yes,
20, 25K.
25 21 ke hone wala hai. Yeah. So I started that my personal brand. I was at 120 followers. So with one video I received about 7,000 followers. So yeah, so video ne that build my audience, and now we are doing it up more.
How many views did that video get? Like, was it?
Yes, 6 million.
Drop the link in
Yeah.
the description below of that.
Sure,
Cool.
sure.
So after school, you joined this guy Sam and started working alongside. And you joined Brand Samosa.
We
In the
started Brand
marketing
Samosa,
department.
me and Sam, and there was one another lady, Jyoti.
Co-founder.
Yes, yes,
in
yes.
Brand Samosa.
Yeah.
And then in Brand Samosa, you guys were doing more of in that sort, and then you decided to Instagram.
Right.
Correct. We'll break down each part of the journey, right? So, firstly, from like from school to this like starting Brand Samosa, how did you even learn the skill set that is required? Because see, today people who want to start their own social media marketing agencies, or who want to start production houses or do something like in this niche, but they don't even know how to start it. So like what's the first step? Let's say you are thinking in terms of somebody who is just right out of school and does not this field.
Makes sense, makes sense. So right now, if you ask me, the different, because when
Yeah.
I started, I tried multiple things, so I had to experiment a lot, right? I had to experiment with content, I had to experiment with platforms. I was not sure if I wanted to build on LinkedIn or stuff, so I was also trying Instagram. I was also trying Facebook का group उस time पर बहुत ज़्यादा चलता था communities वगैरह के लिए, right? So we had to basically experiment a lot to reach at the point that okay, this is something that we want to do, right? But learn right now, there are so many which has immense value in those courses. And right now resources around personal branding is like भर के है पूरा.
दैट इज द
You can.
प्रॉब्लम एक्चुअली, मतलब ये
Hmm.
एक प्रो भी है पर कौन भी है, क्योंकि अब इतनी सारी चीजें हैं तो किस में से पिक की लाइक अभी नहीं पता कि कौन सा अच्छा है, बिकॉज इट इज अ न्यू कमर, राइट? उनको पता भी नहीं कि जो सीख रहे हैं हम भी आएगा बाद में कि नहीं आएगा, राइट? सो इफ यू
Makes
कैन
sense.
एक्चुअली कमेंट सर्टेन कोर्सेज दैट यू थिंक आर रियली हेल्पफुल, और
Makes
some
sense.
people that you don't know that they are using these courses and have actually these courses have helped, I think that yeah.
Makes sense. I don't really know about the courses, but I see a lot of ads for LinkedIn marketing and stuff. For people who are watching and college or maybe college and they want to get freelancing business or use LinkedIn to become a better, become better at networking, and they want to grow their LinkedIn profile, right? And they start it. I would say you do everything, like and read about everything to find out what's working and what's not, or maybe what's right to what is right thing to do. You How I would do that was कि पहले I used to also go on internet and check out, right? And चीजों के बारे में research करते हैं, there are many things that gets repeated.
Yeah.
So for example, you are telling me something, for example, someone wants to build personal brand, right? And they can follow me or you, right? There will be some things that we will be talking about in a similar, like for example, understanding your audience, or maybe understanding hooks or story, and you need to understand कि hooks कैसे design किए जाते हैं, visual hook कैसे बनाए जाते हैं. So there are few things that you would see everywhere in every
Yeah.
course. So those are that you need to focus on. So for example, if you join personal branding course, they would start with you need to build differentiation, right? And if you are in college, and if you are in college, or maybe you have say, let's say, I would assume that we are talking to people in college, right? Their differentiation is that they are student and they are learning things, right? So the easiest thing that they can do is start documenting their journey. So everything that they learn, they can go on LinkedIn, they can go on Instagram and share whatever they have learned. So that's what Gary Vaynerchuk also says, that you need to start documenting your life, right? You need to talk about everything, because that there is two reasons specifically to because why I suggest a thing. And that is because when you share something personal that has happened to you and you are documenting your life, you're sharing everything, right? You are sharing your failures, you are sharing your achievements, you are sharing whatever you have learned, you're sharing what you learned but you don't right? You're sharing everything, right? What happens by sharing that is people start reaching out to you and reading your content, right? And when you share whatever learned, and when you share your thought process to be very specific, right? The connection becomes very to the people who are listening or maybe reading you, right?
Yeah.
So that is something that I would suggest to a person or who has just came out of, let's say, college, and they want to start their maybe agency business, right? So everything that you would not know anything about marketing, or you would not know about anything about the industry that you are going to get in, because you are just a student and you don't have practical exposure, right? So everything you is your content.
Yeah, so just
right?
learn and share, and I think that would be easy. You don't need a script or something for that because that's just your experience.
Makes sense.
ठीक है, yeah. Were you saying something?
Yep. And later on, once जो script का part आपने बोला, what you can also do is you can start learning how to build scripts, right? And utilize that to create content. For example, you say कि यार मैं आज स्कूल में गया और कॉलेज में गया, मेरी टीचर एंड मैं इस प्रोजेक्ट पे वर्क करना चाहता हूँ, बट मेरी टीचर एंड दिस इज व्हाट आई थिंक अबाउट एजुकेशन सिस्टम, right? This is your thought. You share that. You create a script. You create a script in a way that's optimized for Instagram Reel or maybe LinkedIn, right? And you share that on the platform. It's very simple.
Yeah.
You don't have to go search about ideas. You don't have to write down ki, किस idea पे लिखूं मैं. You just
Yeah,
document
yeah.
your life.
I think there's an audience for every kind of content. Like some
Exactly.
kind of content के लिए audience है. That makes sense. But for Instagram, let's say, चलो this is for if a person wants for them, wants to own agency. जिसमें let's say मेरे पास founder आया and मेरे सब कुछ करना है, तो now there are like a lot of things. तो ये freelance एक freelancer, is it even possible to do it on a freelance model, or you have to only convert yourself into an agency? Because see, shooting भी involved है, editing भी involved है, then I feel आप thumbnails वगैरह भी बना के देते होगे, then there is content writing also. So do you feel it can be done on a freelance model? What are the like 4-5 skills जो a person should know if they are offering
Makes
on Instagram?
I feel it's all about skills. If you have skills, you can do that. If you don't have skills, you will have to hire some other friends जो graphic designing कर सकता है. You will have to find जो content writing कर सकता है. You will have to find friend who can do video edit. You know everything, right? You know content writing, know scripting भी, you know video edit कैसे करना है. You also know कि lighting कितना important है. Like you shoot and how to how to shoot the video. You know lighting कैसे करना है, कहाँ पर like whatever lighting, जो भी rim light कहाँ पर आएगी वो. If you know things, you can do that alone, right? The only thing is if उसके अंदर problem सिर्फ ये होगा that you will not be able to scale it up.
Yeah, it's time
So
taking.
if you yes, it's time taking and you will not be able to scale it up. You will not be able to have let's say 10 clients at the same time because you are the only person who is doing everything, right? So in the process, what you will have to do is you will have to get one client, do something for him and make a case study out of it. Later on, you maybe hire people, and once you have understood everything, every stage of creation, content creation. For example, if you talk about LinkedIn, right? LinkedIn के अंदर text post works the best, right? With images or maybe videos भी आने लगे चल गया है, right? But for LinkedIn it's quite simple because what you only have to do is you have to write content. But for Instagram you will have to write script, you will have to design hook, you also have to design obviously you have to write script, so have to shoot it. At this you will also have to edit. And right now the market के अंदर जिस टाइप एडिटिंग होती है that's मतलब बहुत लोग कर रहे हैं, right? So you will have to make sure that you are better than them. If you're not better than them, people won't see your content because उनको आदत हो गई है अब. For example, right Instagram पर you would see so many videos जिसके अंदर sound effects आते हैं, images आते हैं, elements आते हैं एकदम से, and it just help rush your dopamine. उससे dopamine rush हो जाता है कि एकदम से like you get stimulated, I would say, with so many effects and stuff, and people are getting used to it. So what you also do is you can't create a very dull content. So if you know video editing, you will also have to understand SFX, sound effects, right? There are multiples that you need to learn. If you ask things that they need to learn, what they if you are a student, and what should go on Google and search about. So I would say you search about hooks. Hooks are very important for Instagram, right? You also need to understand how to write emotional script because emotional scripts works the best both for LinkedIn and Instagram as well, right? Then you also have to understand the behavior and the you also have to have understanding of what kind of video has an emotion. For example, if people are laughing, for example, I mentioned about modern, so we tried two videos on similar content, right? But there were two different hooks. One hook was a girl sitting in front of camera with dull face, and other that there were group of people who were laughing, right? Who were just right, This later one went viral. So you need to also understand which clip you want to put in the first. So if you see my profile, you will see a lot of visual hooks. Initial में
Yeah.
पहले 3 seconds would be irrelevant visual hook that helps you turn off the people, right?
Then it's
There's one,
you do a
and
lot
then
of
it's
storytelling in the. For example, I watched this Gaurav Taneja wala reel that you made, right? So it's story that you hooked, like how did he grow, and then you told the whole thing.
exactly. So for that is a of script.
Yeah.
So what you can also go on Google and search about is different types of format for writing. You will
Yeah.
have multiple things. You will have ADA. You will have, there are multiple content copying strategies that applies in script writing as well,
Which
right?
format
So
works the best, like in your experience?
suspense.
Suspense, okay.
So
Like
anything,
taking
curiosity, yeah, suspense. For
yeah.
example, I started 2 reels. So this reel that I was talking about, which went viral at 5.7 million, I think 5.6 million, I'm not sure क्या number है अभी उसका. But this started with in आपके घर पर एक newspaper आता है.
Now even I
ठीक
am
है.
curious to know. Yeah.
Right? So what I did, this went viral, and I tried this similar video that also went viral. The content was different, but पहले की 5 सेकंड वाली जो लाइनें थी वो सेम थी. Imagine आपके घर पे एक न्यूज़पेपर आता है.
Yeah. And it can be repurposed by every, like हर niche में आप इसको repurpose कर सकते हो. Imagine ये कर रहे हो.
Exactly.
Imagine आप ये हो. Very
Right,
good
right.
insight.
So what I for is, मतलब me and my team, what we think is that we need to try multiple hooks and we need to find what hook works the best.
And फिर उसको repurpose
तो
करना.
repurpose करते जाते हैं. Yes, so you have to experiment a lot. For anyone who is watching not know about marketing, I'll tell you that all about experimentation. You need to experiment a lot. You have to experiment with videos. You will also have experiment with audio. उसके अंदर टेक्स्ट में क्या डालना है, स्क्रिप्ट में क्या डालना है. You experiment a lot, and once a lot, you will get to know things that okay, this is working. For example, टेक्स्ट के अंदर ये वर्क कर रहा है, या फिर इमेज के अंदर kind of image you get views, right? So what for next starting content creation for insight, you explore
A lot.
and you
see
understand what's
and
working. Exactly. And how I see it is that, for example, I have 3-4 hooks that I have tried and I have
Yeah.
written them down. So whenever I have to create a video जिसके अंदर मुझे views लाने होते हैं, I use those. So that act as my asset library. कि मेरे को पता है, example to me and say मुझे इस views चाहिए. I know I have 5 hooks जो मैं अगर hooks भी डाल दूंगा ना, video चल जाएगा, right? So then I pick those and use them.
That's the smart strategy based on what you want, like your back engineer. That's
Exactly.
So if a person starts an Instagram agency, something that in this domain, so content writing, video editing, then of course videography to some डालना चाहिए, like videography phone or from a professional camera, scripting. These are the 4 skills, right? Did I miss it?
No. इसके अंदर सब skills हैं. For example, videography के अंदर lighting आ जाता है. You also need to understand का setting
Angle,
वगैरह होना चाहिए, aperture कितना होना चाहिए, वो आपको समझ. So once you dive deep into one skill set, you will find hundreds of sub skill sets, right? So you need to learn everything that you can do.
Understood. That's a very important insight. Also, coming to how much can a person charge, because I think this is one thing that newbies see problematic, like facing a lot of problem. कि यार start में इस service के लिए हम कितना charge करें? Of course, sir, you will be charging different. As an agency, you would be charging different. But like if you can with the range कि यार अगर तुम start कर रहे तुम्हारे पास ज़्यादा पुट नहीं है अभी, you know how does Instagram work, but you do not have a lot of clients. So how much can charge for this service?
Okay. So for terms of the pricing, I would say अभी मार्केट के अंदर बहुत ज़्यादा clutter. For example, video editing and video editors have grown like crazy, right? And these people are from age 12 to 17.
I have video editors. Even I have a video editor. He's 16 right now. He's in school, but he edits good videos. Yeah.
Right. So what has been happening is that because of these people, there is no standard to the price. So obviously, if you look at their perspective or maybe mindset, they are in school, right? They get charged if they are asking for a video, let's say editing 12 videos or 10 videos, right? They are making 3,000 rupees, right? For 10 videos, right? For those people, maybe those students who are in college or maybe school right now, and who they would be in what 10th wala class mein, right? These people, 3,000 is more than enough for them, right? So they charge very less. So if you are getting out of college, I feel कि pricing का थोड़ा सा इधर उधर हो रखा है के अंदर, because say
what I want to इतना पता ही नहीं है लोगों को. फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्कूल स्टूडेंट्स इतना क्यों चार्ज करते हैं? नॉट बिकॉज द पर्सन इज नॉट विलिंग टू पे, बट बिकॉज द पर्सन डजंट नो सो भी चार्ज कर सकता है.
Exactly.
सो चार्ज तो वही लाइक आई फील लाइक इफ यू कैन टेल लाइक अ रेंज कि यार तुम इतने से इतना चार्ज करते हो, राइट? तो नाउ इफ दे एंड अप वाचिंग दिस वीडियो, सो दे नो कि नेक्स्ट टाइम व्हेन दे आर रीचिंग आउट टू अ पेन और and somebody is reaching out to them, so itna they can pitch to the
Makes
person.
sense, makes sense. I feel the starting should be at least 500.
Yeah,
500 से start करके if
for a
you
reel.
have some good, yeah, for a reel, right? And there's one other thing, I was talking to multiple video editors, they charge per minute, right? तो इसके अंदर क्या problem होता है कि they don't charge on, so reel होता है 1 minute 30 seconds का, right?
Yeah.
So they charge on per minute basis. Let's say if
Okay.
someone, for example, me or my video ranges from one, like more than 1 minute to within 130 seconds,
Yeah.
30 seconds, right? So I had to pay double to them, right? Because they charge on minute basis, right? So वो थोड़ा सा है. So what
That video editors can charge, those who are like really
exactly,
good at it.
exactly. So what they start with is they start with reels. एक reel का it could be 1 minute or it could be 1 minute 30 seconds. आपको पता है कि 1 minute 30 seconds से ज़्यादा होगा नहीं. So you have
Yeah.
barrier over there, right? So you will not have to work a lot, or maybe you will not have to work harder to get things done. It's not like कि किसी ने 5 मिनट का वीडियो दे दिया and वो चार्ज कर रहे हो आप, right? So there is a limit to 1 minute 30 seconds. So you start with 500 based on your portfolio, based on your experience and the kind of funding that you have in terms of sound effects like that.
Yeah.
And then you can, it can go under 3,000 also. I know people who charge that much amount for one reel edit.
Yeah, it depends on your skill set, right? And the
That
client
completely
is getting.
exactly.
So 500 to 3,000 के बीच में a video editor can charge, for example, and based on the skill set, right?
Makes sense. And if
yeah,
they
yeah,
also want to grow more, like if they want to also charge, right? People and brands would not be okay to pay that. एक और चीज होती है कि brands can hire their video editors,
yeah,
right? Video editors का उसके भी ऊपर डिपेंड करता है कि वो कितना skilled है, वो सब तो है ही, but they would charge about, let's say 20,000, 25,000 or 30,000 to a videographer, right? Video, right? So वो उनसे ज़्यादा काम करवा सकते हैं if they are good enough, right? So you have to also take like consider the उनके पास क्या benefit है, उनके पास और क्या advantage है. They won't get, मतलब कोई भी company would not hire a freelancer, they would just get in-house team, right? They would train them. So that is also what you need to understand when you are in, need to also understand what are the other alternatives that your customers have.
Understood. That brings me to a very important question, like why do you think, because I do get this a lot कि sometimes we pitch them कि this is what we'll do, this is our charges, तो like founders say कि ये हम लोग फिर in-house ही कर लेंगे, मतलब in-house ही कर लेंगे, right? क्या founders की let's say बड़ी कंपनी है, प्रीमियम एजेंसी है जो प्रीमियम चार्ज भी कर रही है and they're doing really good work. Why will a founder, like what's the reason that a founder actually hires the agency as well and not do it full time when they have the capacity to hire like good people in each different niches?
Makes sense,
So,
makes
like
sense.
what's the reason?
Okay, so one reason would be that they are not. So मेरा इसके पीछे एक logic है, right? Anyone who knows that he has a good skill set, so if they know कि हाँ मेरे पास video editing की बहुत, they would not work full time. They would know कि यार मेरे को तो इतना ना जितना मैं full time में कमाता हूँ ना, उससे ज़्यादा मैं freelancing में, right? So they know their, and उसके अंदर क्या होता है that normally company have a fixed pay. उसके अंदर ऐसा भी नहीं है that you get charged based on the results that you deliver. You will get the fixed pay, right? So what these people who are really good editors move freelancing business or maybe it's right. So that is the second reason would be why would companies get or maybe hire agencies? Would be two reasons, I would say. One, obviously editing. You are good at editing. Second would be that you offer something else rather than editing. Because editing, you also understand, ये जो 12 से 17 साल के बच्चे हैं, they can, you can get videos edited them at 100 rupees as well, right? There is one guy I met on LinkedIn. He messaged me on Instagram. He says that he would do the video at 200 rupees, and he's a very good editor, right? I can see with his portfolio and stuff. So why would hire an agency? You are offering more than editing. right? So what you also have to suggest them is what kind of edits or maybe what kind of content that you need to for example, people, why people like pay me is majorly this. They don't pay me because of the editing and how well I edit the videos and stuff. They pay me that I know what works best for this particular platform. Give them consultation on what kind of content that you need to create, what kind of content strategy you need to adapt to, and what's working in the market and what's not working in the
It's all the
so
marketing experience that you have, like that you know what works well, and you'll not just do what they ask. You can this well.
example, this is very particular thing I have seen with multiple people. सामने से क्लाइंट बोलता है कि ये कर दो वीडियो के अंदर, एंड दे वुड बी लाइक कि हाँ कर देते हैं,
Without actually
my
understanding
question,
वो चलेगा कि नहीं
understanding
चलेगा.
कि वो क्या चलेगा या नहीं, right? And the benefit, this is what I have learned in my agency experience, right? I have worked with agencies, and how I deal this, like how do I deal with this situation is that I would explain them why I feel that this should not be done. These are the reasons that I think it will not work. These are the I feel that we should not do this particular thing. And even if they say कि नहीं ये करना है, तो you discuss the output of it. So you okay, I'll do that, but
I cannot
I'll
promise
not be
you.
responsible for results that you are expecting me to do. Maybe for for the results that you opted me for. So for example, you said for example, people hire me and say 10,000 followers grow करवा दो या 1 lakh करवा दो, because of which I need to make sure that I customers, right? And what they want to publish is one friend of mine who is running this healthy food, right? So what kind of content I suggested him was that to create content which is for your audience. You need to understand your audience, but he wanted to talk about his business. He wanted to talk about food, like packaging kaisi hoti hai, but that is not valuable for your customers, right? They would not want to know that particular thing unless they know you well, unless they have a personal connection with you, right?
Want
So
to see up क्या है, किसको help like that.
exactly. So that is something that you need to figure it out. Like you need to tell them, okay, अगर आपने मेरे को hire किया है कि मैं इससे, right, just for an example, and you are coming to me and saying कि इस type का content नहीं बनाएंगे, इस type का content बनाएंगे, so I will tell them बना देते हैं, कोई problem नहीं है, but ये जो आपने 1 लाख मुझसे expect किया हुआ है कि 6 महीने बाद 1 लाख हो जाएगा, ये आई एम नॉट श्योर, आई एम नॉट प्रोमिसिंग इस कंटेंट से होगा. एंड व्हाट टू माय सरप्राइज आई हैव आल्सो सीन, वंस यू give this reasoning with confidence to them, they agree to you. They say ki I have had multiple incidents like this, and they say you are an expert, you do it your way then, right? It's just that you have to be very confident. You need to know what you are working upon and what you are not working upon.
That they are great insights. Just one thing that you told me about the video editing pricing wala thing. Let's say a person, जैसे for example you're offering these services as an agency, personal branding. If a person wants to give it as a freelancer, मतलब इसका range क्या हो सकता है? I want to manage, let's say, somebody's Instagram end to end, and I am a newbie, let's say, but I got skills पता है, right? पूरा service entirely. So उसका what can be the range? Start
maybe from 45,000 it can start per month basis per, because you are acting as a social media manager, right? You are acting as a social media manager and strategist, right? So you can charge from anywhere from starting from 30,000 to maybe take it to 60,000, 70,000, 80,000 based on your portfolio, based on your companies that you have worked with, right? And nowadays what I have also seen is
80.
Yep. And right now what I have also seen is that companies are also hiring content creators. So if your content
Video for them.
exactly, so are hiring content creator. So what you can also do is, if you don't want to go the freelancing route and you want to have a stable job, what you can do is you can start building your profile. You can start experimenting the content, whatever I told you कि hooks समझ लो क्या work कर रहा है, कैसे work कर रहा है, क्या type की audience किस type के content पर relate करती है, किस type के hooks पर relate करती है, right? Once you understand that particular part, you can reach out to any company that this is the brand. For example, any I was talking to one of a friend who works in influencer marketing thing. So they say we believe, like we were talking, and we believe that brand manager से ज़्यादा जो company की profile grow कर सकते हैं. नहीं, अर्न की बात नहीं है, जो ग्रो मैनेजर से ज्यादा. फॉर एग्जांपल देयर इज वन कंपनी हु वांट्स टू ग्रो देयर ब्रांड मैनेजर से ज्यादा आई फील कंटेंट क्रिएटर्स कैन ग्रो that particular brand.
Content creators, you mean somebody to brand in their own profile या फिर being the
नो जो अपना है वो
कोलैबोरेशन
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 में
लाइक
करके। आई फील वीडियो एडिटर्स का बहुत बड़ा रोल है किसी भी कंपनी, बिकॉज दे ऐड दैट डोपश वाला पार्ट जो एकदम से स्टिमुलेशन देना होता है ना, देख लिया एकदम से ओवरवेलम कर दिया, वो वाली
या
चीज वीडियो एडिटर कैन डू रियली वेल।
100%. I saw this reel कि how two different audios can totally change the effect of, मतलब कि वो वीडियो में क्या चल रहा है, आपका ब्रेन कुछ ये इधर कुछ और सोच रहा है, इसमें कुछ रहा है। I
एग्जैक्टली
agree with
एग्जैक्टली।
this. Yeah. Just to sum it up कि वो 30,000 to 80,000 a brand manager, so brand manager जिसमें आप स्क्रिप्टिंग टू पोस्टिंग सब कुछ बीच में कर रहे हो, and but the shooting part the person is doing, the founder has to do, और whoever जिसके लिए भी आप शूट कर रहे हो।
इफ यू कैन हेल्प देम कि इस तरीके से एक्ट करना है, इफ यू हैव द स्किल ऑफ वीडियोग्राफी यू कैन।
I do have आगे एक चीज में, but what has been your biggest success today? I think we discussed this, like you mentioned like a couple of pages, but still if there's some other success story that you want to tell about an Instagram page that you took from to why and what really worked for that profile.
Okay, it's a funny story. So I've told you about Modern Teams, right? Modern Team page we started 6 months back, 5 years back, right? And within we were able to reach out to 1 lakh followers. अभी उस पर content नहीं हुआ है, मतलब बहुत time हो गया उस पर, so the followers had dropped now, but we took it to 1 lakh followers at one point.
So in terms of sponsorships, like of course don't tell me the numbers, but what is the range in which a brand pays a good account, right? Like from this range to this range, let's say 100k, 500k, 1 million, like if you can give it. I
I'm
know
not sure
different
about 1
niches का
million.
अलग-अलग
हाँ
होता है.
हाँ, हर niche का होता है, but I would say I'm not the right person to not done.
Or your client brand collaboration.
So 1 lakh पे engagement के ऊपर है, how what are the deliverables, but you can charge around, if 50,000 to 1 lakh followers, you can charge anywhere around 25,000 to 50,000 to 60,000, right? अब ऊपर और ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है, 70,000 हो जाता है, 80,000 हो जाता है
For a
if you
reel.
have about for a reel, right? 5 lakh के around फिर और ज्यादा बढ़ जाता है। 1 million है, then you can earn very good, like above 1 lakh 5 easy.
Yeah.
And if you have
People
YouTube
charging 5-10
community,
lakhs also, like people are
yeah,
charging 5-10 lakhs also if they're in finance niche or something. Is this
it's all
true?
about where money lies. कौन सी स्टार्टअप इकोसिस्टम में ज्यादा पैसा है। फाइनेंस में फॉर एग्जांपल एडटेक आई थी, जब बायजूस वगैरह आए थे, है ना, उस टाइम पर वो बायजूस का हाइप था और एडटेक कंपनीज का हाइप, राइट? सो उस टाइम पर आपके पास, मतलब एडटेक कंपनीज के पास बहुत, सो एनीवन हु वाज कंटेंट अराउंड और मे बी टीचिंग टेक और मे बी टीचिंग कोडिंग, those were the people who were getting paid very well.
Most views. Makes sense. Also, you talked about very interesting thing like what content you make. Right, so how should a decide कि यार let's say एक founder को भी कुछ बनाना है, या फिर when you guys come a founder, so how ये content बनाएंगे कि मतलब entrepreneurship के around होगा या marketing होगा, make sure करना कि उसका TAM भी बड़ा हो और हमारा purpose भी आ रहा हो, like how do you end buckets?
What you want to talk about, what values you can deliver, things that people also want to listen to. So these are the things, वो एक sweet spot बन जाता है भी, वो उन चीजों पर आपको बात कर लेना है।
तो मैंने एक रील देखी थी राज शमानी की जो वायरल हो गई थी कि आपका 2 कंटेंट ऐसा होना चाहिए जो नीश है,
कंट्रोवर्शियल और कहते हैं,
ऐसा कुछ आप लोग फॉलो करते हैं या दैट एग्जैक्टली?
We don't follow ऐसे, ये 3 रील होनी चाहिए। We like I personally create, for example, एक informative. Okay, so normally what happens is we don't have certain numbers कि 2 इस तरीके की होनी चाहिए, 2 वीडियो इस तरीके की होनी चाहिए, but we have a idea about it कि ये वाली वीडियो किस टाइप के लिए। आजकल ये कोल्ड प्ले वाला चल रहा है, so it's a trend. You can create anything around cold play, दिल्ली में हुआ वाला सीन हुआ, so milk that topic so much, feelings ऐसा शेम क्या कर रहे हो चीज के ऊपर करके, राइट? सो उसके ऊपर, सो एनीथिंग दैट्स ट्रेंडिंग, यू कैन क्रिएट कंटेंट अराउंड इट, यू कैन गेट व्यूज, एंड इफ यू डू इट इन योर स्टाइल, देन यू कैन, इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड योर स्टाइल कि किस टाइप के आप कंटेंट बनाते हो, एंड इफ यू आर एबल टू सीमलेसली इंटीग्रेट दैट टॉपिक इनटू योर स्टाइल, दैट वर्क्स द बेस्ट. देयर इज एवरग्रीन कंटेंट which is evergreen content, anything, for example flirtation formula वाला जो content, green content है, anyone who would be anyone who would be at जो आज 9 साल का बच्चा है, वो 11 साल का होएगा या 12 साल का होगा या फिर 13 साल का होगा, and he liked any girl, they would go to and they can consume that, इतना ही relevant होगा उस टाइम। बात है कि any content which for next 5 years is evergreen content, or maybe evergreen मतलब जो that can be relevant for next 10 years
10
20 years.
E
Yep.
C is controversial, E is evergreen.
एवरग्रीन जी वाला ECG वो नहीं है बट इट्स अराउंड ट्रेंडिंग वाला कुछ पार्ट है वो.
I was trying to see. I think one was value add as well. मतलब कुछ value वाला था.
Value is then growth. The G part is growth.
G is
So it's
growth,
value. Yep. So anything that can grow your audience.
skill set.
Skill set of your audience, right? Value basically. Anything that it can add value, help them grow. So this kind of content is a growth wala part. The things they're recording right now is comes into the growth side of it.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
feel for niche, as you mentioned, like I follow this that try out different things, see what is getting. Let's say आपने 5 रील बनाई, एक marketing के around, एक entrepreneurship, fun content. See what is working, double down on that. I think the
That's
best
good.
thing.
Yep, that's good. But I feel what's best is that you answer.
Yeah, and the audience also. आपके audience है कौन exactly?
हाँ. Meaning if you understand yourself, for example, what kind of person you are. For example, I am Punjabi. मतलब I'm not Punjabi, but I am the kind of Punjabi desi hip hop guy, right?
Yeah.
जो मेरे पीछे भी है, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I will always try to integrate that thing into my content. So I'll talk about desi hip hop. I'll talk about Punjabi music. Talk about anything which is related to my personality. And वो
That personal
documentation
touch
में exactly वो the things that we talked about, you don't have to understand और किस चीज पर बनाऊं. For example, this is the biggest problem that I faced when I started creating content. I was so confused. I was sitting with my partner and कि भाई content किस पे बनाऊं, and he was like कि भाई तुम्हारा हमेशा का सवाल यही रहता है इस पे content बनाओ, right? So then we started कि चल ठीक है document क्या कर ऑफिस ले या इसके बारे में बता दिया, ठीक है बैठे हुए हैं जिम के बारे में anything, right? So you don't have to add any to your creativity or your thing. You talk about everything. Basically, you talk yourself. The person I know about this particular thing is Ishan Sharma.
Yeah.
Ishan Sharma does it really well. He documents his life like amazing way. He writes amazing scripts, and he has clips of his daily life. वो clips add उसमें ज़्यादा नहीं, but the way he is able to communicate that के अंदर पूरा magic है, and थोड़ा बहुत editing के अंदर, but editing का script plays the 70%, right?
The voice and everything that is added.
Voice over, exactly. And the content of it, what he's talking about, right? So his experience, his thoughts, his ideas, right? And the cult following. See, I these artists, right? So I know हर artist का ना एक cult following होता है. For example,
Yeah.
King, if you see King's Clan, एक King artist if you know, right?
And-
Unity है, which is King's Clan, right? There is some aspect of his personality which people relate to, which is King. The name भी I feel King है, and he says name इसलिए लिखी, anyone who tags me, first thing I feel King, because when I write I feel King, I will feel King when I tag. So he's all about feeling, right? His songs talks about that, his ideas talk about that, his podcast talk about that, right? And that's what people with.
Yeah, personal is definitely important.
Exactly.
5 optimization tips that before posting you can do these for optimization as well.
The biggest optimization that I do, I become a little lazy and I don't do it, and I prevent on that particular thing. Work the best for Instagram. Okay. So nothing. For example, you are creating personal branding cube. Search bar के write down personal branding.
Okay.
ठीक है. 3 automatically suggestions आ जाएंगे, which most searched that in your
either
caption.
in captions or
Exactly.
headline.
And as if, for example, personal brand, one thing, right? Personal brand, you are talking about personal branding, but you are also telling people that how to use LinkedIn to build personal branding का एक 3-4 keywords हो गए. Then you go on search bar again and LinkedIn. You don't have to press the search button, right? वरना वो post आ जाएंगे. You just write down LinkedIn. So just
see
Google what
are
people are searching, exactly, and copy those things and mention it in keywords. Creating my content on LinkedIn once again after losing 25 years back.
कर दिया like that. That's weird.
Permanently ban. So I can't even create. हाँ वो 1-2 बार दे देते हैं. 3 के बाद I didn't stop there. Then they were like कि भाग जाए यहाँ से. So yeah. So now I've started creating content. Yep. So first of all, what's working for you? What's working for you?
A reel that's going viral. It's the easiest to on the planet, I think. Yeah,
True.
yeah, yeah.
I was working with this person. He's one of a founder friend, right?
This is LinkedIn talking, right?
Yes, LinkedIn. Top
But
voice, like with month.
voice to articles like did you guys comment on the article or are you talking about
Nothing.
golden top voice? Are you
No,
talking
no, no,
about
no. Top voice.
blue
Blue wala, जिसपे
blue one?
influencer वाला.
Very
I feel it's all about
random.
content. It's all about content.
But I have so many clients and there are people who got top voice and then cheese कर रहे हैं but yellow one तो बहुत easy.
That's
But
what
the
I'm
blue
saying. The content of content,
अच्छा.
the depth of knowledge, the depth of experience. For example, वो जो I'm talking about ना pager, one pager answer. You can get that one pager. इसका जवाब दिया है. What's your vision? He
Yeah.
has thought a lot
About
on that particular thing, right? And the thought process that he has is amazing, right? I would die for that thought process and critical thinking of that particular. The way those answers were crazy. The content of it really matters the most. What exactly you are talking about? The top voice is basically what? It's a thought leadership image that thought leaders को मिलता है, right? And thought leaders have to have some differentiating thoughts. That's what I
the
feel.
blue one I would say, not the one.
Exactly.
Yeah, gold
Skill specific, I think. Skill specific होता है वो.
is very easy to get. You can just get it in 2 days. कुछ नहीं करना होता. People just randomly comment on some articles and after have it. मतलब it's very random. मतलब 2 से 15 दिन सकते हैं. You just comment and get it. Seen agencies sell it as a service. कि यार हम
That's what I'm saying. That's what my question was. Question. There are so many agencies selling out the service to get voice on LinkedIn. It's really possible. That was
golden one.
Golden one is easy. You're saying.
Yeah, I can get you golden one. Like just watch my reel. करना नहीं. Actually made मैं रात को 3 golden फिर आपके also feel like जिनके लिए पर भी मैंने पाया they're actually good. Like they put out good content. 1 or 2 profiles in here they have blue वाला. I'll send you files if you want. सब कम है but blue वाला still is very crazy. Golden वाला so it's like
वो तो बांटते हैं कि ले लो तुम.
Just because they want engagement, right? कि मतलब तुम आओ comment करो और ज़्यादा लोग use करें उनका. I think it's the simple marketing strategy. How can people come and do that, and that's simple, but a lot of people don't know about it. Where it's not. It's quite simple.
Makes sense.
Great. Also optimization, I think we miss this thing like super like bio optimize करना होता है. For me, let's say I want to write around marketing. So bio आपके पास कोई founder account आता है, but how do you choose the bio as well for them?
First of all, so some lines, first line should be telling who that person is. The second line would be how he can help, right? How he can help any audience that he has, right? The third is what he talks about. इस line मैं create करता हूँ. And अगर और maybe अगर कोई company का founder है who is very well recognized in terms of उनके पास बहुत ज़्यादा credibility है, certificates and stuff like that, कई सारे titles हैं. So I mentioned those credibility part. So I feel the major जो outreach है, that is reels. In terms of Instagram, your outreach is reels. Then they see your reels, they come to your. So your profile should be able to, your bio should be able to tell them whatever you are creating content, why you are creating particular thing.
Yeah.
So that एक credibility build हो जाए कि okay, this is why I should listen to this person. Because anyone ऐसे हवा में नहीं आ जाएगा कोई भी. Anyone would see your reels or post, then they will your profile, right? So you have to make sure whatever, for me, they have seen marketing or they have seen marketing ideas or maybe like that, right? Marketing case studies, let's take an example, right? So why do they listen to me? What I have in my career that they should listen to me. So I have talked about that particular thing, that I have been working with 250 plus clients. I have generated 80 million views, 100 million views now, Instagram, right? I have viewed profiles like that. So these are the credibility.
So that CMO wala thing in 6 years.
Exactly. वो भी मैंने mention किया, so that people have the clear understanding of it. So that is something that you need. So you need to just answer of people asking you कि why should I listen to you? Are you worth listening? Are you worth listening to, basically?
Okay, so credibility, what do you talk about and what can people expect from your profile? Something that you want to mention. And the link hota hai, like what do you think the link should be like a call to action ki mere website pe jao ya call, the link should be only to the web ya fir link hona chahiye with different things. So you decide that.
I feel that you should have one thing. For example, how I do is to do was अभी मैं कई सारे resources share कर रहा हूँ to add those reels that I need to have a funnel. Right there should that your audience can land on and they can, for example, that's my website, right? So I will try to keep, or maybe only website on my profile, right? And the website or maybe
Okay.
landing page, right? So on that landing page, they go to my landing page. Landing page is designed really well, and it says that how I can help them, and they want my suggestion or certain thing over my services, and they can reach out to me. So personal branding video production का वो एक landing page, and simply go how I can provide value to them, what credibility do I have, and उसके अंदर एक form है. So
Yeah,
anyone
book
who
a
comes,
call उधर
exactly. So एक ही अगर है, so you have to make sure one there should be one place जहाँ पर आप सभी अपने traffic, and फिर वहां से आप
Makes
start कर
sense.
दो, आपने डाल दिया उसके अंदर दिया, so that you can send regular emails to them and stuff like that. So you have to have a funnel, and you have to have one landing page or one where your audience lands.
Understood. Give us any, because I know कि everybody might not know how to code. इसका time
I
क्या है? The
personally
time or
use
money basically nobody wants to invest, let's say. So what tool did you use?
pages.
Okay.
Pages, how I got it is मेरे पास वो lifetime वाला है. I got it from AppSumo, but that's really amazing for me, right?
Swipe
Now it's
pages.
paid, so swipe pages. So you have to get paid of it, and if you get the lifetime deal, then it would be amazing, right? But it has templates, it has AI in it. You just tell who you are, what you how you want your landing page to be, and stuff. It completely the whole page in just 1 minute with the content.
Wow, that's amazing. I
So
think agencies का काम ये है.
हाँ, there are so many things that अभी आगे जाके I don't know कितना चलेगा ये agencies वाला, but after AI and ये chat GPT, I feel, for example, we used to struggle a lot in training people कि भाई content comments कैसे लिखना है लोगों का. You are acting as a founder, and you have to showcase him as an authority, as a leader in your industry. How do you do that?
Yeah.
We had to have like 3 training sessions 1 month, right? What we do is, what I have done is, do you Pro?
No, I don't use GPT का Pro, Claude का Pro we use.
Okay, makes sense. So chat Pro version में custom,
Yeah.
I have trained it, so everything. So I create 20-page training module for AI that I would create, that I used to do it with my employees जो भी टीम के अंदर आता था. So I had all the, तो मैं now I create content like
So like हर founder के लिए you have this one training document that you make.
हाँ, मतलब एक training document है. I want my post to be like.
Okay. When you say training, it's like a doc format wherein you write questionnaire, for example, for every.
So there are 2 things to it. So I have one GPT.
Yeah.
So every knowledge that you have for creating content किस तरीके का होना चाहिए? It should have a hook. It should be presentable. It should not have 3 lines in एक paragraph नहीं होना चाहिए. It should, so that it's right. You have to have stories, right? पूरे पोस्ट के अंदर आपके स्टोरी होनी चाहिए, राइट? स्टोरी को प्रेजेंट करने के लिए भी देयर आर मल्टीपल मेथड्स. देन यू हैव प्रॉब्लम ब्रिज कर कॉपीराइटिंग स्ट्रेटजी होती है. देयर आर सो मेनी थिंग्स, राइट? क्रिएटेड, भी मेरे को नाम याद नहीं आ रहा, बट आई थिंक, राइट, एक्सपेरिमेंटिंग 4 years बैक ऑन इन टर्म्स ऑफ कंटेंट, राइट? सो आई हैड अ डॉक्यूमेंट जिसके अंदर मैं डॉक्यूमेंट करता था सारी चीजें जो भी मैं लर्न कर रहा हूँ. सो कंटेंट कॉपीराइट कर रहा था, सो आई रोट डाउन एवरीथिंग अबाउट कॉपीराइटिंग स्टाइल्स एंड स्टफ लाइक दैट, राइट? नाउ व्हाट आई डिड, आई gave it to custom GPT in terms of what kind of post I want. सिर्फ post it इस इंडस्ट्री में है, ये उस इंडस्ट्री में, right? I told him this is how the post should look like. हुक होना चाहिए, आप मेरे को ऑप्शंस दे जिसमें से मैं सेलेक्ट करूंगा कि किस टाइप को कैसे डिजाइन करना है. हुक्स में स्टोरीज होनी चाहिए, सस्पेंस होनी चाहिए. सस्पेंस को कैसे क्रिएट करना है? यू कैन यूज 3 words, इमेजिन यूज कर सकते हो, 2-3 keywords होते हैं which you can use in any hooks, right? So I gave them that how to create. That was a 20-page document. अंदर का पार्ट अलग था, डिजाइन करना है, बॉडी को कैसे डिजाइन करना है, CTA को कैसे डिजाइन करना है, देन पूरा का पूरा एक समराइज था, ठीक है, फॉर क्रिएटिंग पोस्ट. I gave it to custom GPT, right? Trained that GPT. On top of it, I told it, so every time I create content, I tell him this is the person that I'm creating content for. This is what I want to talk about. This is what he wants to convey to the world.
This is the questionnaire जो से मांग questionnaire का content.
Your client, right? So business. right? So you some questionnaire, right? You know वो
Yeah,
किस
yeah.
बारे में लिखेगा, what he stands for, what his thought process, what he wants to
True,
talk
true,
about, and so you
true.
everything to that particular chat GPT and you press
Hmm.
empty post ready,
Wow, this is
right?
really nice. But
So
you
you
guys,
want
you guys
no
LinkedIn ये पहले आप लोग करते थे, like पहले you guys
मतलब
used
ये
to
मैं
do.
अभी अपने लिए करता हूँ,
Oh,
ये
that's
मैंने
nice.
1 साल पहले किया था, so I'll show
But
you.
yeah, like this is really really nice. मतलब कि आगे जाके like big companies एक दो लोगों की भी like you know they can be like really big million companies.
True. So this is the LinkedIn post creator, right? And I'll just
This
ask
is
him
the one that you
create.
have trained. Yeah, like this is the scratch fair.
ये वो है trained वाला
Oh,
है
this is
ये.
your bot. Okay, okay.
So create multiple posts of this, and I copied, pasted everything. ये पूरा का पूरा document है. Press enter.
And आपके लिए there would be like
Test story,
such a nice line. I was 60 to follow the traditional path.
right?
Yes.
And one of the biggest challenges here wasn't about acquiring skills or knowledge. It was about self-confidence.
True.
There's no right or no.
Amazing.
Then
And you told your whole story in that questionnaire.
Exactly.
Like where you evolved.
So
now let's
my
say, right? Let's say now you want after these 10, so you'll keep asking the same bot, give me 5 more posts, 5 more posts.
no.
Something like
I'll
that.
source. So I'll
Oh,
keep on changing the questions. I'll keep on changing the perspective of the questions. I'll keep on changing the angle of the questions. थोड़ा थोड़ा.
makes sense. जो आप
वरना वो
input
same
दे
ही
रहे हो,
देता
you'll
रहेगा.
keep changing that. Yeah.
Exactly.
No, but this
So I'll
is
keep on changing changing the source of it, because I trained. So for example, the way it's written, I've trained
Yeah.
on that how to output the post. So anything for example I give it कि मैंने ये anything, for example मैंने ये पानी की बोतल खरीदी, ठीक है, and I write down create a post on how I bought this पानी की बोतल, right? So it will I went to this show and this is what happened and stuff like that. So वो
वो आपने
curiosity भी
input
add कर
दिया
देगा.
था कि हो curious होना 5-6 type of body and hashtag. That is nice.
I'll show you. छोटा दिखा देता हूँ, right?
Yeah.
So
No, this is actually like very helpful. People would like AI को अगर सही if they know how to utilize, I think this can be
true.
let's say कोई similar काम कर रहा है, but you are करना है same काम, तो वो लोग कैसे अपने clients की profile grow कर सकते हैं? So founders you can tell.
Who wants to go? Acha, again, that's talked about, right? You need to understand your audience. You need to understand who you are reaching out to. You need to understand what exactly things that they want to know. What are the things that they desire, and they really face problems. And then based on that, you can create content around it. When you are creating content, you have to make sure that it's more attention grabbing. So you have to
एंगेज से मेरा मतलब है कि कमेंट, जैसे इंस्टाग्राम पे बट आप अगर कमेंट करते हो किसी और के तो हाउ डू यू फिगर आउट कि किस पे कमेंट करना है? तो फाउंडर्स के प्रोफाइल से ऑल्सो ठीक है, नो इश्यूज. तो नॉट लाइक लोग कहते हैं दैट दिस इज लाइक सुपर इम्पोर्टेंट ओनली व्हेन यू एंगेज विद अ प्रोफाइल ग्रो और समथिंग, प्रोबेबली लाइक दिस इज व्हाट मैटर्स देयर.
Content Instagram पर you have to have a good content, valuable content that people want to listen to, right? Because see Instagram पर लोग engage करते हैं. You don't have to go and LinkedIn is
let's say somebody does not have the money to outsource all of it. They cannot अभी agency को hire नहीं कर सकते. So what are the 5 you think that strategy different writing के लिए तो they can use editing, you know, different aspects क्या वो use कर सकते till the time they cannot of an agency.
Strategy would say use what your business does, and also you need to also your customers, and you also need to understand process that you have to put in, right? You that be done by anyone else, someone, because you are the founder. They will be the person who will have to understand what they want for what these are the questions that they need to answer. No chat GPT, no to answer that question for them, right? So they need to understand what they want to stand for, what are the values that they have, what are the brand positioning that they want to have and stuff like that. Once they are clear with that, right, they need to understand what that needs, that stands for your values and brand guidelines and stuff like that. That part you can get it done from ChatGPT also. So you tell everything that this is something that my company name is this, I want to stand for this, I have a mission where I want to do this, I have products which जिसका cost ये है, then I have 2 more products जिसमें हम ये कर रहे हैं. You explain every situation, each and every and ask it what kind of content create, and also what are the audience that you want to reach out to.
Mm.
Okay, this is my audience, that some ideas that will resonate
Content
with
strategy.
this audience, and then it will automatically give you the content strategy,
Content.
content calendar,
Wow.
topics ले सकते हो, you can ask it follow up questions and stuff like that. But
Anything
what
from
I would
editing, you can continue.
what I would say is that the bigger I have is that people mission, what is their vision. If they are not aware about that, they can't create content.
So that should be clear about your vision. Okay, that is number one. If you have a vision clarity, then chat GPT पे like tell your vision and that will give you the content. And then it comes to design and editing. So like design के लिए if you can suggest one tool, like Canva, I thought of that. And video editing के लिए, do you have any
we use
AI?
we use
CapCut चलो is like you have to manually edit. Is there like any AI that you think
I
helps
don't
with?
captions के लिए blink कर if you
Okay.
have blink I just book English में भी convert कर देता है and understand. So he also it
Wow.
also understand Hindi. Normally people use caption.ai, right?
Yeah.
So caption.ai not understand Hindi. So Blink understand Hindi and it can also translate and multiple things. Blink over captions for that. Video editing ka, yes, I've not tried till now because I feel abhi there's a lot of improvement that needs to happen in terms of the kind of videos that I use and put out. That can't be done by AI. It will be done maybe in near future.
And so Canva, Blink, and then ChatGPT. I think most of the scripting strategy part can be done via ChatGPT.
Exactly. I'll give them a good suggestion, right? If you just ask them, ChatGPT, give me a script. It will not understand what kind of script you are asking. Asking for a movie, asking for a reel script. Are you asking for a short documentary script, right? You find out how to create Instagram reels, right? You type go like in Google and type how to write Instagram scripts. You will have multiple resources, right? You copy everything you give and you tell the information to write.
Oh, wow. You're giving like the best information, knowledge base to a person like a GPT, and now with that knowledge, they will create your really nice. Well, I think these were all my questions. One thing is your favorite Instagram page that you feel like is doing really good. Maybe your not your client, any page on Instagram.
Any page. It's on the. There are multiple pages. For example, I love I Feel King page because for multiple way he is to create a brand of him and he does content and stuff like that. The way
the blank
the
book really nice.
pages exactly right. Then usually follow. I don't have any name because I follow is more. I follow Hustling Rajan guy.
Okay, Hustling.
He creates content. So he's from Faridabad near my thing, मतलब Delhi के around NCR में. So he creates a very very localized content which I relate to very much, right? So
this is like जी सारे आने वाले kind of content, क्या?
Kind of.
Okay.
He's my relative though, but yeah.
No, I'm just saying that he's your relative, the person who got viral. Oh, why don't you have a reel along with him, or do you have it already?
No. We don't have that thing कि जाके ऐसे बोलो कि मैं कि please. So
amazing. Like I've seen so many of those 3 days hard challenge. I think you had it, right?
वो मेरे मामा
Wow, that's nice. Wow, I didn't expect this. This is nice.